Under section 157, we have discussed when the goods cannot be separated, then the bailee must compensate the bailor for the losses or the damages. Okay. Then comes section 158. This speaks about the necessary expenses. Okay. So when we are talking about the necessary expenses, under that we have understood that if the bailee is not paid for their work but incurs necessary expenses, the bailor must repay them. Okay. For example, I am working as a bailee for a specific person. Okay. And to protect the goods of that specific person, I have to take care of the things of that specific person. And that is why I have to buy something or I have to take care of the things in a certain manner. So, in that specific circumstances, whatever the expenses are there, okay, as a bailor, this is the responsibility of the bailor to repay the bailee for that specific expenses. Okay. So under section 158, it is clearly spoken that if the bailee is not paid for their work but incurs the necessary expenses, then in that certain circumstances, the bailor is responsible or liable to repay them. Okay. Then comes section 159. It speaks about the return of gratuitously lent goods. Okay. So under section 159, it is spoken that the lender can ask for the return of a loaned item at any time, but if this causes a loss greater than the benefit received, the lender must compensate the borrower. Okay. So it means when we're talking about section 159, it speaks about the return of the gratuitously lent goods. That means the lender, the person who has lent the goods, okay, can ask for the return of the loaned item at any time, but if this causes a loss greater than the benefit received, the lender must compensate the borrower. That means, for example, you have taken the amount of uh, 15,000 rupees from me. Okay. So, in the exchange of the 15,000 rupees, you have given me any specific thing. For example, your just take an example. This is a golden ring. Okay. When you are you want to take the amount of 15,000 rupees from me. So in return, I am giving you this ring. You are taking this ring from me, and in return you are paying me the amount of 15,000 of the rupees. So you are giving me the loan amount of 15,000 of the rupees in the exchange of this specific ring. Okay. That means रिंग के बदले आप मुझे 15,000 रुपया का लोन दे रहे हो. ये हो गया ना पहली बात. दूसरी बात आता है when it comes to the point that return of the gratuitously lent goods. ये जो रिंग है ना, अगर जैसे कि हम दोनों के बीच में डील हुआ था कि 2 महीने के अंदर I have to repay the amount of 15,000 of the rupees. Got it? So when there is the deal between you and me that I am supposed to pay you the amount of 15,000 rupees in the duration of 2 months. So when that specific duration is been completed, when that specific duration is done, then after the completion of that specific tenure, after the completion of that specific term, the lender who has taken the goods must give back the lent product or lent item to the person who has given the goods, and the person who has taken the money from the lender is responsible to pay back the amount in between the specific time duration. That means, for example, I have given you this ring and in return I have taken the amount of 15,000 rupees from you. So here I have taken a loan amount from you up to the amount of 15,000. ये रिंग को आपके पास बंधक रख के मैं आपसे 15,000 रुपया का लोन लेके गई हूँ. ये हो गई बात. ओके. जब हम दोनों के बीच में ये डील है कि 2 महीने के अंदर ये लोन क्लियर करनी है, 2 महीने के अंदर ये लोन चुकाना है. सो हियर दिस इज माई रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी कि हाँ, मैं ये जो 15,000 रुपया लिया हूं उसको मैं 2 महीने के अंदर ही चुका दूंगी. एंड वंस आई रीपे द लोन अमाउंट, एक बार मैं अपना सारा लोन अमाउंट जो है ना उसको रीपेमेंट कर देती हूँ. कंप्लीशन ऑफ द पेमेंट अगर एक बार से हो जाता है, then it is the duty of the lender to give back the specific good which he or she has taken. अगर वो मुझसे 15,000 रुपया का बदले सोने का कोई सामान लेके रखा है, देन उसका ये ड्यूटी बनता है कि उसी को अपना पैसा मिलते ही मेरा जो सामान उसी ने आज से बंधक के तौर पे रखा था, आज ये सिक्योरिटी रखा था, आज ये गारंटी रखा था, वो सामान वो मुझे वापस कर देगा. ये कोई हो गया आपका पहली बात. दूसरी बात, दूसरा सिचुएशन ऐसा है कि अगर जैसे कि द लेंडर हैज गिवन मी द अमाउंट अप टू 15,000 ऑफ द रुपीज, और मुझे 15,000 रुपये तक ही दिया है. ओके. मान लो देयर इज ए सिचुएशन, ओके, वेयर I am unable to repay the amount in the duration of 2 months. 2 महीने के अंदर मैं उस पैसे को नहीं चुका पा रही हूँ. So here, what is the responsibility of the lender? Here, the lender must compensate the borrower with the remaining amount. If the lender is selling this golden ring somewhere, how much amount he would approx get? At least up to the amount of 50,000 or 60,000. Take an example of this, okay? And when we know that the lender can ask the return of a loaned item at any time, यहाँ पे जो लेंडर है ना वो एनी टाइम अपना जो भी लोन्ड आइटम था उसका रिटर्न के लिए बोल सकता है. दूसरा क्या है? But if it causes a loss greater than the benefit received, the lender must compensate the borrower. That means when we are talking about it causes the loss greater than the benefit received. For example, I have given you the ring, this golden ring, in exchange of as the security of 15,000 of the rupees. So when I am unable to pay you, okay, when I am unable to pay you the specific amount as a borrower, then you are going to sell this golden ring and getting money from the shop, and you are getting up to the amount of 50,000 from the golden shop. Okay. So when you are selling this ring, you are getting the amount of 50,000, but your actual due is 15,000 only. Got it? Your actual due is 15,000 only, but you are getting more than that 50,000 around. Okay. So when we are talking about the return of the gratuitously lent goods, we have to understand that when there is the gratuitously lent goods has been done, okay, then if it causes any kind of the losses greater than the benefit received, for example, जैसे कि मैंने आप लोगों को बताया, For example, I am giving this golden ring to you in the security of the amount of the guarantee up to the 15,000 of the rupees. So when you are going to the golden shop and selling this item, you are getting the amount up to 50,000 of the rupees. But your actual due to get the payment is 20,000 of the rupees. So how much time I am getting over here? It is around 30 minutes. Okay. So when we are talking about the return of the goods, then there is the concept of the return of the money also. If the gold jewelry has been costed up to the amount of 50 to 60,000 of the rupees, and mind you is actually 15,000 of the rupees, then I do not have any right to keep the whole property of yours, the whole money of yours, right? I can what I return the goods, or I can when I'll return the goods to the seller, or the person who has taken the money, or the borrower, or if he causes more losses, or or more benefits, then it is a good thing. And if it causes more the benefits rather than the losses, then the lender must compensate the borrower itself. Okay. Then comes, we are talking about the duty to return home goods. Okay. This is explained under section 160, and this is exactly speak that the belly must return the goods once the time or purpose of the bailment is over without waiting for a demand. Okay. Before this we are discussing section 159. Okay. So under that we have discussed that the the lender can ask the return of the loaned item at any time, but if this causes a loss greater than the benefit received, the elder must compensate compensate the borrower. So here it is the duty of the elder, or the lender, to compensate the borrower. borrower को compensate करना किसका duty है? This is the duty of the lender to do it. Okay. So under section 159 we have discussed one more thing. Okay. So when we are talking about the losses greater than the benefits received, or the benefits are greater than the losses, then the lender must compensate about the borrower. Okay. So this is about the concept of the section 159. I'll add one more thing here. We have understood the concept of the bailor and the bailee. The person who provides his or her own goods for the process of the bailment is called the bailor, and the person to whom the specific things has been provided is called the bailee. Okay. So when we're talking about the concept of the bailor and the bailee, when we're talking about the concept of the bailor and the bailee, here when this is the thing of gratuitously giving the loan. Okay. That means when there is something which taking gratuitously, that is also called a kind of uh, uh, taking that is also called a kind of the thing in which you take something, the exchange things in which you are taking something and you are giving something. Okay. So when we're talking about the gratuitously lent goods, the person, for example, I need money and I am giving this ring of mine as the gratuitous product. Okay. So when someone is providing any kind of the gratuitously lent goods explained under section 159. Okay. When we're talking about the person who is providing the gratuitous goods is called is called the person who is providing the gratuitous goods, and the lender must compensate the borrower. The person who has lended, he must have be compensated from the borrower. Okay. So here, if this causes a uh, any kind of the losses rather than the benefits received, if it causes any kind of the losses rather than the benefits received, then in that specific circumstances, so in that specific circumstances, the lender must compensate to the borrower. Okay. This is about section 159. We have discussed who is a person, the person who gives the thing is called the person who gives the thing is called the borrower. In return of the specific thing, he is taking something, and the person who receives the thing is called the borrower. Got it? Okay. So when we are talking about section 159, we have discussed over here about the loaned item. For example, I am taking loan from the bank, or I am taking loan from a specific institution. I have to assure the institution about my clarity of the payment, that yes, on time to time I am going to provide my money. So this, to give this assurance to the specific institution or organization, or to the specific person, I have to give him something which will give trust in that specific person's heart. So here, this is called the concept of the bearer and the belly. Here, the person who is providing own goods, for example, I am providing my golden ring in the expectation of 15,000 of the rupees. So here, this is the thing where the lender can ask for the future of the loan, future of the future of the loaned property. Okay. So the property or the goods which has been lended, which has been taken as the loan amount has been taken, that must be repaid, the first thing. And the thing which has been given in return of the specific goods, after the payment, that goods must be given back to the borrower by the lender, or by the belly, it must have been given back to the bailor. Okay. So now come to under section 160. This speaks about the duty to return the goods. Okay. So when we are talking about the return of the gratuitously lent good under section 159, what does it mean? The lender can ask the loaned item at any time, but if it causes a loss greater than the benefit received, then the lender must complete it. Okay. And the lender must compensate the borrower itself. So when we are talking about section 160, the belly must return the goods at once the time or purpose of the bailment's over, without waiting for a demand. Okay. And the most important thing is, like, when we are talking about the gratuitously lent goods. Okay. And we have discussed that duty to return the goods under section 160. So, as a bailor, when I am giving you something for the sake of the money, and when you are getting your money, then it is your responsibility to send me back my specific thing which I was supposed to get. This is called a duty to return the goods. This is the first thing. The second thing is, uh, the belly must return the goods once the time or purpose of the bailment is over, without waiting for a demand. Okay. So when this concept of the bailment is over I have taken the amount of 15,000 of the rupees from you, and in return I have given my golden ring to you. So when I have come back, when I have taken back, I have given you back the amount of 15,000 of the rupees, then in return I am also liable, I am also responsible to get back my goods in return. The belly must return the goods once the time or purpose of the bailment is over, without waiting, without want for a demand. Okay, got it? So when we are talking about the duty to return of the goods, we discussed that it is the duty of the belly to return the goods once the time or purpose of the bailment is over, without waiting for the demand. And when the time or the purpose of the bailment is over. Okay, so when the time or purpose of the bailment is over, without wailing the belly, without waiting for a demand. Okay, so once the bailment is over, when the bailment duration is over, then in that specific circumstances, the belly must return the goods once the time or purpose of the bailment is over, without waiting for the demand. Then comes section 11. This speaks about the responsibility for the delay. Okay. So when we're talking about the responsibility of the delay, it means if the belly delays returning the goods and they are damaged, the belly is responsible for the losses or the damages. It means if the belly delays returning the goods and they are damages, then the belly is responsible for the losses or the damages. For example, I have given you my golden ring. For example, I have given you my golden ring in exchange of the 15,000 of the rupees. Okay. So when you have kept this golden ring near you, and I have paid you the specific amount of the 15,000 of the rupees in a specific time period, I have done the payment to you. So once you are receiving the payment from me, it is your duty to pay me back. It is your responsibility to pay me back the specific amount itself, or it is your responsibility to return me the goods which I have given to you, right? So, when the belly delays in returning the goods, it might be intentionally or unintentionally. For example, I have given my clothes near you for the purpose of dry washing. You were supposed to provide me my clothes after the specific work of dry washing in the duration of 3 days, but you are doing the intentional delay. I have given you back the amount of 15,000 of the rupees. So you were supposed to give me back my ring, which I have given you to one to gain trust inside you. So these things, when it is happening, when the belly delays returning the goods and they are damaged due to the delay from the beller's side, due to the delay from the belly's side, the goods are damaged. Then, in that specific circumstances, the belly is responsible for the losses or the damages. Got it? This is explained under section 161 that if the belly delays, when there is a beller, there is a belly, and the belly has taken the goods from the beller, and the belly is knowingly doing the delay to return the goods, and due to this the goods are damaged, then the belly is responsible for the losses and other damages. Okay. Then the last point under section 162, it speaks about the termination by death. A gratuitous bailment ends if either the beller or the belly dies. For example, there is a condition between the beller and the belly that the performance of the work will only happen with the beller and the belly. There is a beller who used to do work for me, or there is a mechanic who used to rectify my electronic instruments. Okay. So I have given my instruments near that specific person for the purpose of repairing it. So I am the beller over here who is doing the contract of the bailment near my employee to repair the electronic instruments. But unfortunately, before the completion of the task, this is called the gratuitous bailment. Before the completion of the task, the bailor or the bailee is been dead. Any one of them, either the bailor or the bailee is dead. So here, if the bailor is deader, who will receive the product? There is no one to receive the product. And if the belly is dead, who will take care of the product? No one. So here the contract of the bailment automatically comes to an end because when the belly dies, he is unable to take care of the specific goods, and when the bailor dies, he is unable to receive the goods from the belly. So here the gratuitous bailment ends when either of the party dies. It might be the bailor, it might be the belly. If any of the party dies, then the gratuitous bailment ends over there. So from section 163 onwards, we are going to discuss in the next class. This is all for today, guys. We can end the class here. Thank you. Bye bye.